为了帮助玫瑰苗呢，能够有效的抵御沙漠里的极端天气。那这段时间呢，当地的群众呢也会在这个所边区域啊，对一些空白的一些区域呢进行。
To all the viewers, welcome to me with CGTN New Media. Right now, you're looking at this is a desert, but actually, you're looking at right now people actually growing roses on this land, and also we talk about that survival rate of all these roses above 90%. You could see like the local farmers, they are right now is planting the seeds of the roses. We talk about in Hotan, Xinjiang, at the edge of the vast desert, they started to begin their planting season and to better understand how the planting season going. And today I have a guest with me, it's Mr. Ah with me, and he is from the local the authority, and we would like to learn more about a seafood farming in the desert and growing rose in these places as well. So as we could see here right now, we could see that the local residents actually are growing at the roses. So when we start that growing, actually, it's the seasons. One season has started around November, and another season actually is the second half of the February and beginning of March. So we talk about that one season in fall, one season in early spring. So we talk about actually, you could see that the weather in Xinjiang actually could really suddenly come up really warm. So that the road seedlings, actually we plant some of the seedlings in fall and some of the seedlings in spring. So make sure that we not really grow the roses in a really extreme hot weather. So you can see this is the seedling planted by the local residents. So anything we should be care about when we do the planting? So we talk about first, you need to make sure that you pick the quality ones. If it's way too soft, then could not really withstand the weather during the winter. So we talk about first of all, you need to have really that robust and powerful, strong seedling. So you need to really select a quality one. And also we talk about that the roots need to be deep enough. So we talk about that's around 15 centimeters. So we talk about that's really that strong enough that could not really move anywhere, especially in the strong wind and temperature. And also we talk about we should pay attention that we not really select that's the any places. We talk about, you look at this black pap, actually that's the pap for the watering purpose, for the irrigation. So we talk about that we actually drain that the underground water and to make sure that the sand was enough water. So that's we need to prepare the sand ready. That's around 8 to 12 hours ahead of time. And we talk about it before planting, and we need to dig a hole. So that's around the 30 times 30, so 30 centimeter wide and 30 centimeter depth. So we talk about actually right now in Xinjiang, the weather is already cold. So we talk about the second half of November. Is it really that's the good enough planting the roses because it's really cold. So we talk about the roses, actually, the seedlings actually right now is the most safe period because actually it's already entered to the hibernation period. So the only thing we make sure is that the sand or the soils are good enough, so that protect them during the dormant season or dormant state. So right now we're looking at all these rose seedlings. Where are they from? For all these seedlings, actually from the places, the township. A township actually also quite famous in doing research on roses. So right now it's the planting season. So we'll first do the irrigation, and so we will also to make sure that the roots that's around 30 to 50 centimeter deep into the soil. So we need to make sure that there's no too many branches. And also we talk about that above ground part of the seedling, make sure it is not too long. We talk about if that above ground part of the seedling is too long, then actually it has not yet rooted or actually could be easy to evaporate. And also in the spring season, everything will turn green. And then that will be the pruning season. We talk about actually we're very close to the desert, so we talk about that. We need to this is really wide open space. So we need to think about that, whether we should really use the branches of the trees, or need to actually to build up kind of like fans to protect the roses. So we talk about that we need to protect them for 2 months. So we make sure that the sunlight not strong, way too strong, to kill the rose. So it's it's not an easy job to plant or grow roses in this desert. So we look at the local farmers when they're planting roses, we could see the main tools and they are using. So actually could see everyone hold it. So it's called a cantuman. So we know it's kind of like the tool for local farmers. So they have the shovels, and it's kind of like the cutting board with them. So you look at the shape. Actually, it's very, very. You could see that it's actually quite fit with the flat ground. So we look at the local farmers when they're planting the roses. They need to do actually in the pair work. So it's a teamwork. So it's sometimes need 2 or 3 people in a team. So one is digging the hole, and one is bringing the seedlings inside. Make sure that the depth of the seedlings is good enough, and then they will bring the soil back to the hole to fill in the hole. Make sure it's solid enough. So we plant all these seedlings. We talk about that, the rose seedlings, and we know one of the purpose why we are doing that actually is to really to fix the sand. So I really would like to know what's the effect of this effort. So naturally, we talk about we right now also expand our effort of planting roses. So right now we could see that the oasis actually play a greater role, and we also could really feel that our environment actually improved. For that, the sand days actually decrease from around 20 days. We talk about sandstorm weather actually is decreased from 20 days to 5 days. So we talk about actually this is really the result of the desertification. And actually I've been here for 2 days. We actually could also see that the local farmers not only planting roses, they also plant the traditional Chinese medicine. So actually we right now already come to a larger scale of planting roses. And also this year, we also actually select on the 1,000 mu of the sand, the places, to try to grow traditional Chinese medicine. So this is a pilot. So we tried at different kinds of the plants, and we show them that the results of the pilot, and also that the local farmers actually could understand exactly what kind of that the plant or that the traditional Chinese medicine items we are planting and what's the result. So actually based on their willingness, they either could go with roses, or they could really select the new ones to plant. So we talk about that the sand prevention or desertification area. We talk about that the traditional medicine and will for sure generate benefits. And we also think about maybe some kind of mushroom that could be also the potential candidate. So as you mentioned that we talk about, we also could also go further to the processing product. So you could see here we have that the flour, right? This could make really nice tasty tea. So this is actually, we talk about it, is kind of like the rose flower. So it tastes very nice, have that really that rose flavor. So this is actually really good to that stomach problem that can really bring that warmth to your stomach, and also to really to further boost the blood circulation. Actually, I enjoyed a cup of rose tea every day, and here we also could see other products. So this is the rose jam, and here as you mentioned other products. And this is also that the another tea product. So we talk about that's actually from the traditional Chinese medicine. So we talk about these kind of products, and also we introduce that enterprises to the local farmers. So we talk about how we guarantee the earnings for local farmers. So we talk about first you need to have skill. And right now we already come to a quite big scale of economy. So we also need to think about the channels, right? Where we should sell them. And we talk about that this is a really large planting area. So the local government also think about how we could really make our product attractive. So right now we introduce the enterprises to our field. So they look at our products, they look at our the roses and also that the other plants, so that they actually know how to better actually process all these products, so that also really bring more additional benefits to the local farmers. So what are our plan going forward in terms of the rose planting area coverage? So next year, we will continue to expand the area of planting roses. Our plan is that we hope to enlarge at the 25,000 mu. So we will plant the 10,000 mu of roses, and we will also to plant other products. So that's really that we will select that the sand fixing the products to plant. So we talk about that we have that desertification task, and from 2023 to 2030 is 1.2 points. The 210,000 mu, and we have right now we finished quite the good progress. So we will continue to work toward that goal. So we grow plants, we grow traditional Chinese medicine, and we will also select other sand fixing products. And also we would like to introduce more that like the huangqi or herbs, and the around 30 kinds of the traditional Chinese medicine materials. So hope that they could, first we will test, and then we will select from these 30 items, and we will expand that list. So we use different ways to really to find the different measures of desertification. So talk about our experience in this regard. So the south part of Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region, we talk about that the desertification, prevention, and sand control is not an easy task. So we need to really think about that, how we could really use different ways, and also think about how we could really also bring that the enterprises, local farmers all together. So for the local farmers, they get land, so they could grow that the roses or other and the plants, so that help them to increase their household earnings, and also at the same time that's also fixed sand. And we also talk about that help to decrease the cost of planting, so that really the local farmers love to first to really plant the sand area and make them as the flat areas, and then start to grow that the suitable the materials or the plants there. So we talk about we really need to use different ways to really embrace the local farmers, to really motivate them. And we also, for the government, try to think about different ways to enrich our measures. And we also that have our experience. I believe that's better to understand your land, to better to think about how you could leverage your resources. Thank you very much. And just now I talked to Mr. Ah to look at the rose seedling planting. And we talk about this is really the new planting season. It's not an easy journey. We talk about to grow that roses on this desert. We talk about from the very beginning, you need to first to fix this land, make it as flat. And then you actually to think about the irrigation, think about how to really grow the suitable the plants into this soil, into this the land. And then after you plant the seedlings, also make sure that they grow in a scientific way, make sure that they can survive throughout the difficult season, the winter. And I hope that the next year, summertime, we will revisit this place. We will see that the Sea of Roses. And this is our coverage from Hotan, Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region. Thank you for watching. So the whole project started from 2024, November 28th. So far, they have finished around 13.71 million mu of the areas in terms of the sand prevention and control. And this is called Jiemo County. And this is another county called Mingfeng County. So this engineering projects plus the bio projects. And this is another county called Yutian. So they have around the 70,000 mu of roses. They also have other areas plant and the mushrooms and the other traditional Chinese medicine. And this is Hotan County. From less than 1,000 mu, right now it's expand to more than 3,080 mu, and this is the Seedling County. So the economic growth generates to 2,890 billion. RMB. Hello, the viewers, and welcome joining us in the Bazhou Qiemo County. Just now, my colleague at the edge of the vast desert, and they plant the local the rose, the seedlings. So we enjoy that romance from Hotan County, and here we also from the rose planting to seafood. So we talk about actually this place is far from sea, from water, so how they could cultivate seafood. So here we give you that the aerial view, so you could see that actually that's really the far from the oasis. We talk about actually this nothing could grow or survive here. And 2 years ago, so we could see that this base actually is located here 2 years ago. We talk about actually seafood could survive here. Right now, I invite a guest with me to talk more. Hello, the viewers. My name is Gong Yonghong, and in charge of the aquaculture place. I've been here for 2 years. So we just introduced that in the past 2 years, make impossible possible. So why would like to really give a try? So we talk about Xinjiang here. You could not really enjoy tasty seafood because it's the location. We have visited different places in Xinjiang, and finally, why we select here as our base? Actually, we could see that the underground water are actually quite abundant, and also the water level actually relatively high. So what's really the total area of these breeding bays? So this is around that the 450 mu. So that will realize in 3 phases. So for the first phase, that's around 25 mu. We have 6. That's the workshops, and we have 6 breeding ponds. So right now we have that the varieties, total number of the seafood varieties, that's around 230,000. So we have that pond placing outside, and also we have some inside. So we talk about what kind of that fish could adapt to the external environment. So we talk about that like the eastern star spots or that the tiger spots. We talk about that we could really select that a different temperature adapt the fishes. So you could see here that this is the current varieties, and later on we will introduce more varieties of seafood. So we would like to really cultivate that the ecological chain. So we could like to bring that fish, shrimp, and also crab all together. So we see actually quite a sunny day. Have you experienced that extreme weather condition like the sandstorm? I've been here 2 years. So started from March to July, August could be really strong wind season. So that we talk about that sometimes within the visibility only around 10 meters. So we look at this really a pond outside that could be covered by sand during the sandstorm day, right? So actually, you could see that we actually could use that the current pond embankments are made of that a gobi material, which means that after covering the sand cannot blow up. So this is how we could protect our fish ponds. And we talk about sand actually is good. We talk about sand could purify water quality. So actually that's also do good to shrimps and shellfish. So we talk about temperature differences actually quite big between day and night. So we make sure our temperature inside our workshop is consistent. So we talk about that's around 22 to 30 degrees. So that's the suitable temperature. So we have that a smart constant temperature set up here. So you could see right now the people working here to select the size. So actually we talk about the slave fish is a type of the carnivorous implant. So make sure that the big one not eating the small ones. So that is why you could see that we kind of sort right now them by size. So the pond that's around 5 meters long and the 1.5 meters height. So we have around 68 such breeding ponds in this workshop. Can we have a close look? So that's the texture you can see actually is very nice. So we look at this is really you look at the pattern. So we talk about this is the golden tiger grouper. So for these groups, so it's around 39 days. So we talk about that. We make sure that the large or bigger size that the groupers could stay together and the smaller ones stay together to enjoy their own space. So they eat quite much. So we talk about their appetite. And depends on the environment they are living. So if they live in a constant temperature environment, they grow really fast. So for these group of groupers, how long we could see them in the market? So normally to 9 to 11 months, they could around that 1 kilogram to 1.2 kilogram. So when we enter to this workshop, we could really see the lights here. You can see that the yellow, pink, so there's a pink, purple light. So that light, we talk about actually this is we self-developed a simulation. So we talk about this is a kind of like simulate sunlight. We talk about this is how sunlight look like under the sea. So we talk about actually we make sure we give our fish 24 hours of the daylight. So we talk about we also have that the disinfection function here. So this is a fixed spectrum. Yes. So we have that we own the pattern. So we actually developed with a professor. So for this, actually, we have a lot of that really the dedicated functions here. So we talk about really talk about that the water. So we talk about we actually use the local alkaline the saline water, and also we add microorganisms into it to restore it to like a sea water. So the whole process around 45 days. We talk about actually besides that the fish pond, we also have a water pond. So we talk about the water actually. We need to also cultivate that water. So we talk about we dig around 2 meters underground, then we could get water. Then I have a question. We talk about actually we get water from the desert, and we of course will generate waste, and also that talk about how all these waste go. So we talk about why we like to really bring that fish, shrimps, crabs, shellfish all together. We would like to really have a ecologically intelligent recycling system. So which means within this cycle, the fish can really eat that waste from shrimp, and we talk about that could be bring that the whole circle among the different the players here. So we talk about I could see that's this bubble, and that's the more bubble, and bring more benefit to. We talk about that the more bubbles there are, the higher the quality of our fish. So that means that the richer the microorganisms, the healthier our fishes. So we have zero pollution, zero emission, zero antibiotics. So we talk about that. The fry actually we first got from Guangdong province, but start from next year we'll actually have our own fry workshop, which means that we will have the local hatching and local breeding. So we talk about right now we have around 230,000 varieties of fishes. So how long does such a breeding cycle? So we talk about if we actually to hatch our own seedlings, our own fries, and then we will build the industrial chain. So we also see that we have quite a lot of people here working inside. We talk about this is constant temperature, and it's a smart constant temperature workshop. So our workers just use app to control the whole workshops. So that what kind of the things they could control through app. So we have the automated cycle, the circulation system, and we are lightening, and our circular water system actually could be controlled by app, and also feeders as well. So I just need actually 2 technical person per workshop. So right now we just have 8 people working here. So we actually use more the intelligent way to really cultivate and raise seafood. Why you choose Xinjiang? So 2 years ago, actually I had this chance. I first visited this place 20 years ago. So actually we talk about that the local people actually they go to the desert to really collect salt and alkaline and come back to make pickles. So that a friend told me that he would like to really cultivate seafood. So I really did not believe him, but he sent me that his 2 years work diaries. So I visited this place 2 years ago in July. So I try to really observe the growth condition of the fish here and any the diseases. Actually, I really observed for that 2 months. Actually, I also visit the markets in different places like Urumqi, the Kabul, the Kashgar, Hotan. So the price of seafood between Xinjiang and the other places actually is quite big. That's around 2 times in terms of the price differences. So I also talked to the local authority. So we invited that local authority actually to visit it at the project facility base. So October 9th, 2023, I actually started a company here. So right now it's already 2 years and 1 month. So we talk about the first batch of seafood already sold to market. So we talk about that like the mullet actually sold to the market. So the price is quite good. So we talk about that. Have you done a comparison with the prices? So we talk about this is really that the alive, that's the fresh seafood. We talk about it's not frozen seafood. Otherwise, we could not compete with other supplies in the market. So we talk about that we could actually save the shipping cost, right? And we talk about the Qiemo County also actually also have at the edge of the Taklimakan Desert, but it also have an airport here. So we talk to the local authorities. We also work with the SF Express. So later on, if we could expand our size, we could also actually sell to the bigger market in China. So actually in Xinjiang, we have this actually that's kind of like the artificial sea water. And we also have freshwater aquaculture. So here you could see we have some counties. So Yuli County, other city, Magati County, and the Yuting County, and the Urumqi. Actually, I have visited these places and also selected the water samples. So we talk about why finally we actually chose this place. We talk about that the underwater level actually quite high. And also we talk about the salinity actually is also very high, that's reaching 6 to 8% per thousand. So we actually also could really bring the salts here and also can help us to really produce the seawater. So that's good for us to do the aquaculture. So we talk about actually look at these places. They have actually quite long history of cultivate the seafood. So we looking at Yutian, and so we talk about this is actually the southern part of the desert. So we talk about that the crab. And we also talk about that the cod production can reach that 1,000 tons. And also we talk about that actually for other cities, they also actually have crabs, crayfish. So actually people, when they first heard about this, they're quite surprised. And so actually we talk about we really try different ways. So really we talk about there's no water resources, no lake, but still actually you could grow that, the seafood here. So through today's the live streaming, we really would like to really talk to that everyone to introduce that surprisingly, actually inside at the edge of the desert, we have this quiet little place of that the seafood that cultivating the workshops for the local residents. We talk about very soon they will enjoy the fresh seafood. So we could see that during the recent years through these kind of the sand fixing and the measures and efforts. We talk about this is really based on the local features, actually, that we select different ways to do that, the sand prevention and control work. So we also talk about this actually create jobs and also that make more household earnings for local residents. So this actually the really the good place. We could really learn about how that we could really have the aquaculture here in desert in Xinjiang. Thank you. Thank you for watching.